Hi, I'm David Oleski. I'm going to teach you a few things about how to do the best possible video presentation for the upcoming virtual show. First, we'll talk about audio. Right now, I'm using this lapel microphone. It has a fairly long cord. It's probably 5 or 6 feet, so I could get further back. I could be working as long as I'm mindful of the cord, and it would sound fairly sharp and clear, but not a lot of people have a professional grade lapel mic like this. So I'm going to try to unplug it and see what it sounds like using just the built-in microphone on the iPhone. Okay, and here it is. I don't know if that sounds better or worse. Probably sounds a little worse. I have flexibility to get further back, but the further back I get, the quieter it gets, and you start to hear the room acoustics, all the echo and the ambiance of the room, especially if I turn and face anywhere other than directly at the microphone of the camera, it immediately loses volume. So it's really important to project as though you were speaking to an older person and they needed to be able to see your face and hear you projecting directly at them. So if you're going to get any distance away while using the built-in microphone, you need to make sure you speak up so that you can be heard. Here we're going to try the microphone that comes with the headset, plugging in here and excuse the noise. Okay, so this probably sounds pretty sharp and clear. And of course, it's a very limited cord, so I can't get too far back, but this will work in a pinch that you can hear it a lot clearer and sharper than just using the built-in microphone that records the whole room. You could get a wireless lapel mic or like the little Bluetooth earbuds that they have built-in microphones, which gives you freedom to move around and would probably have a similar quality as this as far as clarity and presence. So the other thing I want to talk about here is, well, lighting. Right now I'm using a light. It's fairly bright outside and I've got really huge windows, so this doesn't look terrible. But if you had more light, it would just look better. It brings out more color, more detail. If there's any way you can have more light on your work area, it would be really effective in showing the color of what you're working on, the details of what you're doing. My still life setup is based on painting from natural light. So for me, it would be a bit of a problem because it would throw off what I'm looking at unless the light were just on me. But some people would be able to turn on more lights, even set up extra lights just because light is your friend. These cameras in the phones, they're good, but they're not great. And any amount of light can only help. The other thing I want to talk about is looking at the lens. A lot of people will just look at the image of themselves. This is me looking straight into the eyes of my face as I see it on the selfie screen, the rear-facing screen. And you can see I'm looking down. If somebody was texting something, I'd be looking at that, as opposed to looking up at the lens. What you can do is you can take your finger and you can see, yes, the lens is just to the right of the earpiece of the phone. On some phones, you'll actually see a black dot. On this, it's almost completely invisible. But looking straight at that and resisting the urge to look at your own face gives a different presence to your presentation. I'm looking straight at you, the viewer. I'm looking right into you. I know what it is you did. I know what you're thinking. So keep that in mind. I know the temptation is to look down low, or especially if we had a split screen with the Instagram TV interview, the temptation would be to look at the person interviewing you, but we are doing a presentation for the public, which means in a small way we are performing for the camera, which means looking at the camera. So try to keep that in mind. You'll keep, even myself, I keep glancing down to see, oh, do I look okay? But that's not me looking at you. This is me looking at you, straight at you. So I think that covers everything. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. davidoleski@gmail.com. That's DAVIDOLESKI@gmail.com. And I'll be happy to help any way I can. As far as vertical format or horizontal format, most people are going to be holding their phones in a vertical format. There's some secret to just start Instagram or Facebook while you're in horizontal format to have the widescreen. But in general, people are not going to be holding their phone sideways to see the larger image. Even though the vertical image doesn't necessarily have the content we'd like to present, that's where having things on a tripod and just moving them around whenever you need to goes a long way. One quick tip. If you wanted to show people what you're doing on your palette, what I found is easy is just to spin the camera around and use the other camera, which is also better quality, but it allows you to look at this screen and aim it at what it is you want them to see, whether it is your palette or details of the piece you're working on, or as you're walking through your studio. And you can also adjust a wider image or a zoomed in image. And I find that helps a lot to be able to let people see what you want them to see that's something other than your face at the time, so to speak. So anyway, I think that covers about everything. If not, don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions, or everybody on the Rittenhouse board would be more than happy to help. So have fun, good luck, and maybe set up something like this just with video and just practice before you're actually broadcasting, and you'll get a good idea of how things look, how things project, how your voice sounds, and get over how you look. I'm not crazy about my face, and every time I see it, it's like, wow, you're really getting older, aren't you? But just think that, we look a lot better now than we're going to look 5 years from now or 10 years from now. So just do your best and remember to smile and make sure you have fun.